Hey guys, this is Terilis here with another Overwatch hero overview. I am looking at Torbjorn, and I hope I pronounced that right. I'm not really good with the pronunciation of this name. And he is one of the defense heroes in Overwatch. So he's one of the people who's able to sit back and defend a point for a significant period of time. Now, Torbjorn's full name is Torbjorn Lindholm, and he basically is one of the best engineers in the world, by far. And before the Omnic Crisis struck, his inventions were coveted worldwide by all kinds of different organizations people wanted them to use them for their nations and to even use them with their Omnic, which are their AI beings. Now, Torbjorn already had kind of a distrust for Omnic people, Omnic creatures. He felt that they could be a danger to society. And most people kind of felt that he was just being paranoid. That he really had no reason to be paranoid by this, and that they should just ignore him for it. But it turns out he was right, because it was only a few years later that the Omnic Crisis broke out. And with the breakout of the Omnic Crisis, basically Torbjorn was proven right, and he was one of the first people recruited into the Overwatch organization, and his new inventions proved crucial to being one of the things that really transformed Overwatch and gave them their power to deal with the Omnic Crisis and to finally defeat the Omnic Crisis. Now, after Overwatch's defeat, many of Torbjorn's weapons were stolen or stashed around the world, and this is something that Torbjorn feels personally responsible for. So even though Overwatch has been dismantled, he still feels responsible that his weapons are out there in the world and could be used to kind of wreak havoc on innocent people, and so he will continue to fight for them. So Torbjorn is kind of this mix of he's really a mix of everything. He is a defender hero, and he has a zoning capability, but he also has some support kind of characteristics and the ability of some of his kit to be able to provide that, and he can dish out a little bit of damage, so he's kind of pulling in from all different aspects. But before we get into that, let's just go ahead and start with his basic ability, which is the Rivet Gun. The Rivet Gun has two modes. First, he can fire a kind of long-range shot with faster attack speed, but it doesn't do as much damage. So I'll go ahead and I can go ahead and use it. That robot was already at low health. And it does a decent amount of damage, but it's meant for more of a long range. I don't know if I can hit that robot in the back. Oh, I have to like aim this perfectly, I don't think. Yeah, it's gonna hit the top of the roof there. But I can probably hit that one right there. So, oh, too high. There we go. So he does have a long range ability, and it does a decent amount of damage. I'm not quite sure how much because I hit headshots on him. Jeez. That little ting, if you heard that, that actually indicates that you hit a headshot. Right there. So definitely different sounding sound effects, which is one thing I really like about Overwatch. So Torbjorn kind of steals from Gazlo's kit from Heroes of the Storm quite a bit. He's very much like that. So he builds his turrets. He creates a turret and then he puts it down. And this is his zoning capability. So his first ability is basically the turret. I can go ahead and place it wherever. Put it down, and it's a level 1 turret. And it'll continue to fire and deal damage. Now Torbjorn is, next to Mercy, one of the few heroes that has a secondary weapon. And basically his secondary weapon is his hammer, which he uses to build his turret. So he's going to sit here and build his turret and get it upgraded to level 2. Now once you have it to level 2, it really shreds through people, and it is an excellent zoning. It has excellent zoning capability. Now as you can see on the ground, these guys are dropping something. They're dropping scrap. which plays into his second ability, which is Armor Pack, which is the support aspect for this character. You can toss out armor for everyone and have them pick it up. And the scrap is being picked up to be able to put out more armor. Now you cannot put out armor unless you have scrap. So as I kill heroes, I get more scrap, and I'm able to put out more armor packs, which helps my team. So you can see how this plays like Gazlo. If you know how Gazlo plays, Gazlo picks up scrap pieces, he's able to put down more of his abilities. It's very much the same as Torbjorn here. The more scrap he collects, the more he's able to put down armor packs. Now these armors, I believe, account for about 50 health. So it's definitely worth it to have, you know, so many people with that health. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and build a turret over here to change things in a nice position. Actually, no, I'm gonna go up above here, getting all these kills from that one turret.
Do you appreciate my craftsmanship?
So, this turret's gonna be overlooking these guys down here. I'm gonna go ahead and place it, and the other turret disappears. You can now have multiple turrets, only one. I'm gonna build it back up to level 2. And now you're gonna see his ultimate ability, which is called Molten Core, which basically upgrades your turret to level 3. Right now it's a level 2 turret. It temporarily upgrades your turret to level 3, and it makes Torbjorn really powerful. So, Mountain King mode engage, very much like mirrored in Heroes of the Storm. I'll go ahead and use it now. And he's a total beast. His attack speed is increased. Everything is greater with him with this. I mean, you can see that turret is just shredding people. You can see all those armor scraps down there, which I can use if I want. I can jump down here and grab all this armor. Continue to toss out armor scraps. You can see all the armor that I've tossed out just from armor scraps that I've picked up from this turret, destroying people up top. So with Torbjorn, if you want to zone the enemy team, you gotta have correct turret placement. And if you have correct turret placement, you can deal a lot of damage and pull out a lot of support for your team. The only problem is that to really put support for your team, they have to get in close range for you to have the armor packs sent out, which is a little detriment to his playstyle. You have one ability that zones and another that's support, but unfortunately that support ability requires you to be in the area that you're trying to zone out. So that is one of the downsides to Torbjorn, but it is good that he does have a long range ability to actually deal with people, and if somehow people make it behind and attack him, he has a short range, really burst ability to deal with those people, and that's what makes him really good. So, with that being said, that's all of his kit. I'm gonna, just so we can reduce the sound here, I'm gonna put a new turret here so we don't hear it anymore. But that's what Torbjorn's good at. He's able to zone, he's able to provide support and reduction. He's kind of one of these hybrid roles, but he does sit in the defense category because you set up your turret and then you wreak havoc with your turret. And as long as you keep getting scraps, you can continue to put armor all over the place, and then all of a sudden it helps people. I mean, look at all the armor places that are just sitting around up here. It's excellent. So oh, I believe armor does come from even your own allies, so that's a bonus too. So I did not realize that. I apologize. So if your allies die, you're able to grab scraps from them. That will allow you to make them more survivable the next time around. So I retract my statement about the confliction between the two abilities. I did not realize that you could actually get armor scraps from your own allies. But that is definitely he's definitely a defensive hero. And he has the ability to poke, he has the ability to zone. So he's, in a way, in the same category as Hanzo and Junkrat at the abilities of a defensive-minded, oriented hero. That is everything for Torbjorn. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I haven't really gotten to playing Torbjorn that much because it was actually frustrating to figure out how to build up my turrets. I do know that the mouse wheel is what allows you to switch weapons. I believe I mentioned that in the Mercy video, but in case you don't know, please do note that, because otherwise you're going to be really frustrated with a level 1 turret that really does nothing. There's a massive difference between level 1 and level 2, and you need to be able to build it up, and you can only do that if you switch weapons to your hammer and begin building this up to a level 2 turret. So, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoy Torbjorn out there. Have fun with him, have a blast, and I will see you guys later. Terilis out.